Mercury just released an update that makes your existing outboard engine faster, and it has nothing to do with horsepower. The announcement came on February 11, 2026, at the Miami International Boat Show. While the rest of the industry was focused on the 808 horsepower V12 concept that Mercury had teased at CES in January, Mercury quietly unveiled 4 things that mattered far more for the average boat owner. The first was called Boost, a software-based engine calibration that delivers a 5 to 21% increase in mid-range acceleration and 0 to top speed performance, not on a new engine, on engines that already exist, on motors that are already bolted to the back of boats that people already own. The second was the Mercury keyless system, the ability to unlock, power up, and secure your boat from a mobile device, supporting single and multi-engine setups, working with up to 6 engines simultaneously, integrating with Mercury's existing SmartCraft platform, so the entire boat becomes one connected system controlled from the same screen you use for everything else in your life. Compatible with engines from 75 to 600 horsepower, including Mercury racing models. Installable by a dealer, by a boat builder during new construction, or in some configurations as a DIY project. That last detail matters because it means this is not a premium add-on that only arrives on expensive boats. It is a feature the entire existing fleet can access. The third was the Premier Joystick, an upgraded docking control system with 2 new capabilities. Dock Hook, which holds your boat in position alongside a dock automatically while you tie off, and Skyhook Reposition, which lets you move the boat to a new holding position with one button from anywhere on the vessel, including from the bow. The fourth was the DTS Performance Pedal, a foot throttle built specifically for high-speed single-engine applications, designed for boats running above 75 miles per hour, where keeping both hands on the wheel is not optional. It is a safety feature that also happens to be a performance feature. Together, these 4 products won 2 innovation awards at the Miami show, claimed Mercury 50% of all outboard share at the convention center, and pushed Mercury's representation on larger vessels at the on-water show location to 84%, a 15 percentage point increase over the previous year in a single show cycle. Here is where most boating coverage of this announcement stopped. They reported the features and moved on. What they missed is the thing that makes this a turning point, not just a product launch. Boost is available as a dealer-installed upgrade for existing Mercury outboards, not just new ones, existing ones. That sentence rewrites the relationship between an engine manufacturer and every boat owner who has ever felt their motor was falling behind the newest models. For 100 years, the outboard industry has operated on a simple contract. You buy an engine. The engine performs the way it performs on the day you buy it. If you want more performance, you wait 3 to 5 years, trade in what you have, and buy something newer and more expensive. The manufacturer benefits from that cycle every single time. Mercury just tore that contract up, and in doing so they also tore up one of the most reliable revenue streams in the marine industry, which makes it worth asking why they did it deliberately. What Boost represents is Mercury becoming, for the first time in the company's history, a software company as much as a hardware company. The engine you already own is now a platform that can be updated, improved, and enhanced without removing it from the transom. Think about what that means for a commercial operator running 4 Mercury outboards who cannot afford to replace them. Think about what it means for a fishing guide who bought a Mercury 2 years ago and watched the new models come out feeling like he was already behind. Think about what it means for the charter captain who has 6 engines on 2 boats and knows that replacing any of them is a 6-figure conversation. Think about what it means for every boat owner who assumed their engine was permanently fixed in time, the moment they paid for it, and resigned themselves to falling behind every model year. Boost does not just improve acceleration. It changes the feeling of ownership. And in a market where the decision to stay with a brand or switch to a competitor is often made in the quiet moments between boat seasons, feeling like your engine is still current matters more than any spec sheet. The judge from the 2026 Miami Innovation Awards said it directly when explaining why Boost won. Not only did Mercury target an aspect of engine performance that is frequently overlooked, they made their improvements available at a low price to older models as well as brand new motors. Thousands of boaters will now have easy, affordable access to fine-tuning that gets them out of the hole and up to top speed faster. Low price. older models. Those two phrases together are the story. Now here's the question I planted at the start of this video, and this is where the answer arrives. If Mercury can make your engine faster with software alone, what does that mean for every other manufacturer still trying to win with hardware? It means the competition just changed shape. Yamaha's answer to Mercury's performance has always been engineering. More displacement, better valve timing, proven reliability. All of that lives in metal. You cannot update it with a laptop. Suzuki's answer is mechanical innovation, dual contra-rotating propellers, lean burn fuel control, timing chains that never need adjustment. None of that is addressable by software. Honda's answer is longevity and smoothness. Again, hardware. Mercury just introduced a competitive dimension that none of those companies can respond to without building the same infrastructure from scratch. An over-the-air update that makes your current engine better is not a feature you can match by improving a gear ratio. Brunswick CEO David Fulkes confirmed on the first quarter 2026 earnings call that Mercury has 5 separate new engine development programs running simultaneously. He also said something that most analysts filed past without stopping on. Mercury is not simply selling more outboards. It is taking volume from propulsion categories that outboards historically could not reach. Boost is part of that strategy. Not the most dramatic part, but possibly the most important one. Because the manufacturer that makes every existing owner feel like they are always driving the current model is the manufacturer that never loses a customer to a competitor. It does not matter how good Yamaha's next engine is if Mercury's customer base never feels the need to switch. And the keyless system, the Premier joystick, the dock hook, the skyhook reposition, the performance pedal, none of these are about raw power. All of them are about the experience of owning a Mercury being different from the experience of owning anything else on the water. That is the shift. Mercury is not just selling propulsion anymore. It is selling a platform. And platforms, once you are on them, are very hard to leave. The car industry learned this with Tesla. The moment Tesla owners discovered that their car could update overnight and gain new features while parked in their driveway, the conversation about buying a competitor changed. It was no longer just about whether the other car was better today. It was about whether the other car would keep getting better tomorrow. Mercury is making the same argument to every boater who already owns one of their engines. Your motor is not done improving. It is just getting started. And every competitor who cannot say that same thing is now selling a different product, whether they know it yet or not. The 5 engine programs Fulks confirmed are still mostly unknown. Only the 808 concept has been revealed publicly. 4 programs remain completely under wraps. Mercury has not named them, has not described the horsepower classes they target, and has not given any timeline beyond confirming they are running simultaneously right now. In a company that controls 84% of outboard representation on larger vessels at the Miami show and is posting 17% propulsion revenue growth, 5 simultaneous engine programs is not ambition for its own sake. It is a structured campaign to make every other manufacturer on the water irrelevant before they realize what is happening. Whatever those engines are, they are going to arrive in a market where Mercury's customers are already more connected, more updated, and more invested in the Mercury ecosystem than they have ever been. The horsepower race is not over, but for the first time, Mercury is playing a second game at the same time. And the second game might be the one that matters more.